Well, howdy, modelers. How y'all doing? And this is Alan. I got something to tell y'all. I got a little bit older today, and it all started in 1970. It's been a pretty good run so far. Uh, some ups and downs, and round the bends, and a lot of memories that has went under the bridge and wished I could bring some of those old times back. But one thing that I will cherish and have since I started back into this was my hobby, model railroading. I had done it once, or actually several times. Started when I was 4 years old, getting my first Lionel, and then had several Tyco sets, done some HO with some Athearn Blue Box stuff, and but really liked the N-scale stuff, and it was pretty easy to work with at that time, or back in the time and this was around 1991. I had built my own bench, and it's right up here. Let me pause. I'll show you guys. Continuing where I left off, this is my first in-scale layout, and this was back in 1991. It was scrap. It was scrap wood 2x4s that we used to set up for building a patio in the back of our house, and the boards weren't too warped, so I was able to nail them together and fix them up, and then I put this piece of plywood on the top and painted it. And the little house there, the little cabin there, was made out of tongue depressors. They're a wide stick, and I was able to get some of those, and like I say, they're tongue depressors. And the little gray top building was my train station. And this, like I say, in 1991, I used Atlas turnouts, and had a double yard there, and that is a Concours Santa Fe locomotive, and those are probably Concours cars there. I think that those SPSF are Concours too, because I used a lot of Concours back then. And that caboose that you see in there, that's my Southern Pacific, is Concours. That down there, if you let me pull that in, you can see that I bought the Yard Boss. Can't remember. I think I bought it at the local hobby shop. Bought the Yard Boss. It was a little Santa Fe, kind of a yard engine. It was kind of small, and so that's why we got the diesel. But it did pretty good. And I also was in model rockets a little bit. I won't get too much into that, but I was into model rockets. Had the several of them, the Big Bertha, and the space shuttle, and so they were kind of cool. But I'll track over to the layout here, and I'll show you the caboose that you see in the photo there. There's my Southern Pacific 1235. This caboose went along for quite a long time with me. It was the only surviving piece of model railroading stuff that I kept, and I bought this over at Engine House Hobbies in Wichita, Kansas, and I think I paid probably $25 for it. And it had Rapido hooks on it, and we changed it over to microtrains back in 2016. I went up to Spring Creek and told Jeff, I said, man, I really like to get this on the rails if we can get this converted. And I said, I tried to look and find a kit, and he said, I've got a kit for it. And he pointed out the microtrains kit that worked with Concord, and so we also put some new microtrains trucks under it, so it's got all new microtrains and microtrains couplers under it. And then we fixed it up a little bit more with the antenna and light package. And but moving down here, this little thing is what I wanted to show you. This is my newest engine, got for my birthday. And along with it, we got the Union Pacific, handling it for a 160, 1862 to 22. And that door does open. And in the foreground there is my KW tractor with Tri-State commodities on it. I got that about 2 weeks ago. These things are hard to find. I don't think you can find them anymore. And then I got this Amtrak set here. But kind of going back over here to the locomotive, let's make sure. Okay, there's and then we'll show you how this thing, I can turn the lights out on this here by going to where you can turn the lights on and off. And okay, here's light mode. This turns the lights on here. That's the ditch lights. That's the marker lights. Let me turn them back on so you can see them again. That's the marker lights right there. Interior lights. That turns the interior lights on and off. And that is function 9 on the controller. And let's see, turn the ditch lights back on. And that also kicks on the strobes. And you can see when I hit the bell, the ditch lights alternate. When I put her in reverse, it kicks on the marker lights there for when she's backing up. I'll back her up a little bit. This has got a crew alert, and you do it. You set it on function page 2, and with the crew alert, it's just like a dead man switch. It'll go off and alert you, and if you don't if you don't address it, it will shut down the locomotive, and I'll show you that. We'll let her roll out here. That interior lighting is something else on this engine. Okay, here's the crew alert going off. This is the crew alert going off. And she brings the engine to a complete stop. When she does that, I'll bring in the camera closer to the engine. You can also see, and we'll turn this off here so you can see it a little better. You can also see the emergency light flashing. And it's really a neat little feature. I mean, the crew alert is the same thing as a dead man switch. It's what's on every locomotive, you know, that's out there running today. You know, every diesel locomotive, whether it be Amtrak, you know, BNSF, UP, CSX, Norfolk Southern, any of them. And if you don't give the horn a tap or throttle or the bell or something, and I'll zero this out. I've got to start the engine back going again. If you're going like 10 speed steps, 15 speed step, and when that's on, that's going to stop the engine. You got to zero out your controller. Give the horn a couple toots, and you're back in business. Until she starts going off again. It would be a really neat thing showing at a train show or at your home layout. Probably more at your home layout, because at a train show you're going to have a lot of ambient noise and stuff like that, so you may not hear it. But it is neat to show. When you hit the bell, you can see your lights going off, and they'll stay on and for a second or two, and then like that. This has it has a brake, like any engine does. Hit the brake, it comes to a stop. With this Bachman, if you want to do an emergency stop, you hit in I think it's mode 1. You hit tap brake 5 times, and it will go to an emergency. But if you got the crew alert on, it'll basically do that, you know. But you got to keep on top of the crew alert, and so it's a really cool feature. And it does get louder, and once it gets really loud, then that's when she shuts down the engine. But you can shut that off. I mean, it's something that can be it can be shut off if you don't want it on. We'll bring this one around one more time, and hopefully we'll see if we get the arrival announcement. Sometimes when you think you're pressing the arrival announcement, you're hitting the departing announcement.
Attention, please. Now arriving on track 3, southbound train number 125. Please have your identification and tickets ready when boarding the train. Have a pleasant trip.
Step 5217 North approach, Savannah, Chehalis Junction. 27 miles per hour, Bay 1 out.
And we zeroed out the throttle. We zeroed out the throttle, and the engine came to a stop by herself with track momentum. You have a couple different things in momentum. You have track momentum, and then you have, I guess, regular momentum. So I think I have this set on track momentum, and so as you're getting, not too far away from like your station or whatever, hit your track arrival announcement, and then just zero out if you're going about 7 or 8 speed steps, if you're doing speed step 28 like I'm running here, you're going like 7 or 8 speed steps, engine's rolling pretty good, just zero out, and the engine will slow down by herself and come to a stop, kind of like using a proto throttle. But this engine, I ran it a little bit, doing some, break in, forward and back. I did clean the wheels on this, but she is a little temperamental. I was able to clean the back wheels, rolling onto a lint-free rag that you clean your glasses with. I was able to roll the locomotive onto the rag and clean the wheels. When I tried it on the front truck, though, to clean the wheels on the front truck, she wasn't having it. I don't know if it's because of that Keep Alive capacitor that's in the locomotive that, didn't, like having that done or what, but it didn't like it. But other than that, to say it's, after I did clean the wheels, and I used Inox to clean the wheels with, to help keep the wheels clean. I did notice a little on the interior lighting here, kind of flickering just a little bit. The lights up here didn't flicker, but the interior lighting there kind of flickered a little bit. And once the engine ran a few laps on the layout, that went away. So, but you probably could clean those wheels, your front wheels and rear wheels, with isopropyl alcohol. But I used Inox because it's there's been other modelers that's used it and it works well. I've used it on my layout. and I've had pretty good results with it. And so occasionally I have a locomotive that stalls a little bit. Not very often. On this turnout here, I sometimes, or maybe that mainline turnout, sometimes I have a little kind of some stall. It'll stall a little bit there, but other than that, it's pretty well okay. But like I say, this is a couple things that I was able to get, and this is the main attraction. And I've been wanting for a long time. With my diesel locomotives, I've been wanting a diesel Amtrak that could, do quite a bit of stuff. At least have alternator ditch lights. And you really can't do anything unless you get DCC. And then again, like Kato, they don't alternate unless you really get into, doing the mods for it. But we're going to let you guys go for now, and tell me what you think. Leave a comment or two, and give us a thumbs up, ring the bell, especially because of my birthday, and it's not been too bad of a birthday, pretty nice out. We might go watch some trains. We might just do that. So, and do some rail fanning. But all that, you guys take care. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Alan, we'll see ya.